approval by the head coach. They give him full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And he fires one that's intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. Fights through and now a crease. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So 5 yards remain now. Still first down. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. A give. This is Kamara. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a safe touchdown. Mark Ingram, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Garoppolo now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They do go for it. It's Garoppolo. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there's a time to be aggressive. Now is it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I don't want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Solomon Thomas able to drop him for a loss of 4. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. 3rd and long. It's Hill. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Bell. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll be first down, Saints. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
On first down, it's Hill. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. Spinning away. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And San Francisco gets set to go here. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that. And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. In motion, the tight end. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And it'll be intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. Off of play action, Hill. Now he's flushed out left. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They're running. Ingram. And some space here. There goes Mark Ingram. 30. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Saints put up 29 points a game last year, second only to the Falcons, and they're in range to get some points on this drive as well. 1st and 10. Try to pound it in. Kamara trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
They'll try the air now with Hill. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
All right, here we go. Back to that Philly. Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Hill drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
That'll be taken in the end zone. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I've played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Set. 3-19. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19.
Garoppolo on first down. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Ken Crowley. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. The Saints on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Watch it now, Barney.
Here's Hill. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A gain of 6 there on first. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. Good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Detroit!
Play action. It's Hill. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Malcolm Smith in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. The Saints on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Out of the gun, Hill. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes up.
And look at this, another fake. But he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just a call. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And this offense has converted twice already here in this first half on 4th down conversions. And here we go again. They're going for it. It's Hill. Being chased out left. He lets it, and that's caught inside the 30. They get 39 yards out of that one. And that leads to a New Orleans first down.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Buying time to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And he couldn't corral it. It falls down incomplete, but maybe not a big deal given this big lead.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will make the lead now 26. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Now, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. All right, we've got some happy trigger fingers ready to see who's going to survive this wild card game as we get you back to quarter 3. And a short kick, taking it about the 16.
It feel good. Stop now. Top down through the neighborhood.
Yes, I do.